Good morning. I'm Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com.
And I'm Lindsey Bell with The Street, and together we bring you the morning call. We just heard that the ECB left lending rates unchanged. All eyes will be waiting to see what Mario Draghi has to say in his 8:30 press conference. Futures are still pointing to an up. And what do you think we hear at 8:30?
First of all, the market really didn't even move. I don't think anyone was really expecting a rate cut anyway. So as far as 8:30 is concerned, everyone wants to hear something different. So at this point, I'm not even going to debate what we're going to hear. I'm just going to go over the levels in the S&P because that's what's been important. We've been in this growth slowing versus central planning stimulus for the whole summer, and overall, the market action has been very impressive. Lots of rotation, lots of leaders breaking out, lots of cash flow trades. You go right here to the S&P, you'll see here's where we're at. I'll make it very, very simple. You have a small outside day here that broke through the highs and failed. That caused a little bit of a rest. We've now been in a tight range for almost 2 weeks. If we get above and stay above 1413 to 1415, some shorts will have to cover because above that area, we start to get back in motion for what could be a retest of the highs. And I do think we get a close above this area, we will retest those highs. And I do think if we get up there, we're going to break them. I'm still in the camp that we see, 1450 to 1470 at some point by year's end.
Okay, great. Now let's just dig right into the sector spotlight then. We're going to talk a little bit about the ags. I think the interesting thing here is people are saying the drought is going to cause farmers to want to plant more corn next year, and that means more fertilizers and more seeds. So let's take a look at some of the names. CF Industries, which is a fertilizer company, should benefit from this. They were basing before yesterday where they saw a little bit of a spike. Do you think we could see more follow through for a cash flow trade here today?
Yeah, I like CF as it's been one of the leaders and made new highs and consolidated. It goes with the mantra of the market. If you trade around your positions with leaders, you could take off some and put some back. And if you look here at CF, you'll see it had a really nice move that started in June, went to highs, and then then corrected a bit, pulled into the 50-day. Yesterday, look at this green bar that showed you money rotated back as the market was weak. So that puts it back in my radar for an additional move into the higher levels. I also think Monsanto looking pretty good. You look at this chart. Big move, consolidation, this 88 levels big. And then if Jill was here, she'd be talking about Mosaic. Mosaic looks really, really good. A lot of the news yesterday was about phosphates, and she knows everything there is to know about that. Her target is like 65. I think traders will be looking for a cash flow trade with this above 60. Nice wide range bar yesterday, engulfed this whole little range, held the 50-day. Stock still looks good.
Let's get right into the trenches. We got to get to that ECB conference call, but we're going to get into the trenches with social media. We'll start with YELP. These guys got a gain of 6% yesterday. The CEO was talking about the growth potential of the company and ads, how they're monetizing that. But it's also up 16% in last week when the lockup expired and sellers didn't sell off the stock. Where can it go from here?
Just like 4 up days in a row, shorts just got squeezed. Everyone was playing for the cute little lockup period. You look at the chart real quickly, looks good. I wouldn't be putting any new money into this up here, but it doesn't mean it's a short. I would say wait for it to set up. As long as it stays above, just say 2250, I think that's a better entry as the moving averages catch up. But overall, nice performing IPO, very good trading vehicle since inception.
LinkedIn, you've had on off the charts a couple of times here. The stock was up nice 6% yesterday, but it's 7% below its all-time high. What key levels should we watching here, and how are you trading?
At this point, it's pretty much proven that it could be a macro hold. It's been a good trader. It's a little wacky at times, but last time we were looking at it was after the earnings, the 3rd quarter in a row that they had a really nice, solid report. This one, it held the gap. Let's go right to the chart. Held it right here. I want to give you a macro look here. This is a nice looking chart under accumulation for almost a year, a few quarters of earnings behind it. This has all the makings of an IBD continuation move. Next level here is like 114, and then if it takes that 120, I still think, like I said probably 6 months ago, this thing could see 140 to 170 within the next 6 to 12 months.
Facebook gave investors a little more confidence yesterday by saying that Mark Zuckerberg wasn't going to sell any shares for the next year. So it seems like we've seen a bottom here. Do you think this is enough to stabilize the stock?
It was yesterday. I got back involved, tried it a few times. It hasn't found the bottom. Every time it finds a bottom within 3-4 days, it breaks it or more. So let's see what happens here. Long from about 1840, I think you could fill a gap up to 19, and who knows, maybe see 22. My stop is at yesterday's gap at 1818.
ZNGA has hit a double bottom. Do you think that we could see more upside in this? They did announce a Farmville 2 reiteration of that.
Disaster for people, but this is like a trash or treasure trade. If you didn't get caught at 16, at 14, at 9, at 8, at 7, at 6, at 5, maybe at $3, it's worthy of a trade for a gap fill. You look here, if the group gets a little momentum, look where it's come from all the way down to this area here. Moving averages at 388. If you want to be long versus 270, fine. It does have the potential to fill some of this gap to about 380, and that's a nice percentage. But this is just a cash flow trade. It's not a macro investment.
Now for quick hits, although I think everything's a quick hit today. Apple's up first. It pulled back a little bit yesterday, more than people had expected. So what's the next move?
Apple still looks good, still basing above the previous highs, has a nice little upper base being built here. We have the big date on September 12th. I think some people are a little shy today because Amazon has its press release at 10 o'clock. I'm coming into today long Apple. It's up like $3. I'm going to monitor the action. I'm going to see what happens with Amazon, what kind of press release they come out with. Do they come out with a Kindle phone, etc.? While I'm talking about that, let's just real quickly go to the chart of Apple. Here is your red dog reversal from Friday. Here's Monday's follow through. Yesterday gave back a little bit, but overall still above this area. I think we really don't have anything to worry about as long as it stays above, just say 668, 670. Shouldn't really get below that. If it does, then you have to probably wait till September 12th for better movement. As far as Amazon's concerned, still trending higher. Here is your entry right around 230. Came back, retested, another nice entry, and since then it's just been methodically going higher. If you're in Amazon, I would say be light. Watch this press conference. You do have somewhat of an ascending channel here. It is hugging the 8-day moving average. If people don't like what they hear in this press conference, a break below this 244, and it can come back down and test the 21-day at 241, and then maybe even where it broke out from. But if for some reason it's a blockbuster, that 251, which was a short-term top after a big move, will be the resistance that the bulls might try and get it above.
Google, can we see Can we see a resolution to this tight pattern that it's been in more recently soon?
It's still absorbing. Google, I think, I'm not even getting to the chart.
Okay.
Within 6 to 9 months, we're going to have it testing its highs of 747. It's up about $100 since earnings. Lots of great trades there. The best one was when Samsung announced, that they lost to Apple or Apple won. Everyone thought they'd go after Google. It was at 660. That was your last nice buy. At this particular point, I would hold it on a macro basis and just, know if you could handle the swings intraday. Actually, I'll go to the chart. You look right here. I always got to go to the chart. Holding above 680 is good. Your next momentum level, which it seems like every time it holds, it goes, holds and goes. That area right here is around 690. This is your flag. If people are still short this, which I don't know how they can be, above 688, they're going to be in trouble.
And then finally, let's just take a look at gold and silver because those two have been moving up in anticipation of stimulus.
Yes, a lot of people say, how do you time a situation? And really on August 20th and August 21st, gold told the world it was ready to finally break the intermediate trend line, and it didn't look back, and it paid short-term traders, intermediate traders, macro guys that were looking for a move, and the macro guys still think it goes a lot higher. For me, I'm long coming in. I've already sold a little bit, going into this big gap up. Not going to probably get short. Guys are always saying, I'm going to short this gap open. They're going to sell the news. Sometimes it's hard to buy it after a big move, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a short. You look at the chart real quickly at gold. Really, I want to show you silver because silver was the one that we got into first. Right here, when it broke above this tight range, this is when it said, okay, I'm ready to try and go. Okay, and that was the price point, and it went. And then, it continued, and it's going into resistance now. So if you're long from here, or long from when it went above this high here, or long from buying the dip, or when it broke above this descending little trend line, sell some into this. Why not? Same thing with gold. Gold's coming into some pretty big resistance right now. I think 166 is right here. That's where, that wide range bar. Remember that one? So for me, I try my sweet spots, intermediate time frames. If you got long right around here, coming into this resistance, sell some. But on a macro basis, you still have like 173, and then obviously the highs were about a year ago. So just know your time frame and know what you're looking to get out of it.
Well, that's all we've got time for today. We're going to run off and listen to the ECB Mario Draghi's conference call and check in at the end of the day for a daily recap. Do you have a comment?
I'm going to comment. I will be going back to my desk right now, going on my radio. I will be talking about what I'm hearing, looking at the action. So if you're on the virtual floor, you know that. If you don't know what that is, go to the website and take a free trial because there's a lot more to T3 Live than just these morning call and recaps that you get on the internet.
Okay, that's it.
There you go.
Check in at the end of the day for the daily recap.
Hi, I'm Sean Hendelman of T3 Live, where we train, coach, and mentor traders in order to help you put your money to work with confidence. The T3 Live approach is a blueprint for you to recognize, adapt, and ultimately take advantage of different market conditions. To begin your training with T3 Live, we would like to offer you the opportunity to enroll in our free 30-day online home study course. Fill in your name and email address, and I'll see you on the other side.